Welcome back, Dota 2 fans. This is game 2 of Hehe United versus Moscow 5 International. I am MoreRagePlz, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. With me is Grandest V. We are SLTV. Game 1 taken by Hehe in 34 minutes. Very well executed global strat by them to counter up the tiny IO opening of Moscow 5. Grandest, anything Moscow 5 needs to do differently in game 2 other than just not get outplayed so hard?
That's really what it felt like, though. Their early laning stage didn't go as well as I thought it would, and the mid-game execution from hehe was just really spot on, and they're going to stick with what worked in game number 1 with the Zeus and Clockwork opening, and Brewmaster and Venge banned out by Moscow 5. The Huskar ban is actually really interesting from hehe. With the Zeus and Clockwork already, Huskar would have worked pretty well up against those two heroes, but I wouldn't think they'd commit all the way towards this magic damage strategy, but I definitely like Huskar seeing some love.
Yeah, we saw C9 pick it up against Fire, and actually they were down quite heavily late in the game, and 3 engagements in a row they won with the Huskar, just being basically immune to double RPs, a lot of magic damage from their entire lineup, but they ended up going for some cheesy split push and ended up losing that game at the end. But anyways, definitely a savvy ban for sure from hehe. But we will see the Night Stalker pick up versus Moscow 5, so that silence is going to be pretty vital for them against the Zeus, perhaps towards the mid game, and we'll see how they end up utilizing that. Perhaps now they put the Brewmaster towards an off-lane role.
Potentially, or they even roam with the Night Stalker and the Vengeful Spirit. Void at level 1 is an incredible skill for killing off heroes, just ceasing them down for so long. And in combination with the Venge, it's a combination that definitely can work. So we'll just have to see how Moscow 5 actually want to run this hero. For the most part, Night Stalker kind of falls more into a utility role in the late game, or at least the times that I've seen him. He's working towards an Axe. Yule's Scepter may be going to be picked up. Who knows? Either way, it's going to slant Moscow 5 towards a very aggressive style of play, and it's going to try to catch hehe before they actually get their levels up and try to keep them down throughout the game.
Yeah, I guess their laning stage was a little bit too passive last time, having the dual lane mid, having just a Venge Invoker safe lane. There wasn't too much kill potential. We even saw Sky on an off-lane Spectre find more farm than an off-lane Tide Hunter, able to posture up in the trees, and so quite a bit of experience. So yeah, definitely going for a more aggressive approach, as you mentioned, looking to shut them down before they hit their mid-game timing window here for hehe. So it'll be interesting to see how Moscow 5 fares versus the same opening once again from hehe.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely need some sort of heroes that can get up in the face of hehe. And right now, Night Stalker and Brewmaster can be kited to a certain extent, even with the blink on the Brewmaster, but we'll just have to see how hehe are going to build around this Clock and Zeus. As we saw last game, the magic damage amplification between Skywrath Mage and Zeus with a Veil was absolutely ridiculous, and I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that pick up for them this game around. Already really good against Brewmaster with a nice single target silence, and works well with the Clockwork, and that is going to be their third pick.
Yeah, definitely some great synergy between the Zeus and the Skywrath as well. The Cog's Mystic Flare, for obvious reasons, is very good, so it is a good pickup. Also, the silence, very nice against the Brewmaster. Often Skywrath is considered a pretty hard counter to that Brew. Max level, 6-second Ancient Seal silence, if I stand corrected. But either way, yeah, 6 seconds, keeping him down, and with the burst damage they do have, able to get him down before the Primal Split will be pretty essential to them winning team fights handily. I mean, you can always buy back the Brewmaster with the split still ready, but either way, definitely not something you're too willing to do, especially through the mid game where you're trying to find that item progression towards the Blink and the Vlads and even the Aghanims or things along those lines. So we will see Moscow 5 get a bit into the reserve time here. They banned out the Spectre this time, so they won't be able to couple that up. Nihiz on the Clockwork, Sky on the Spectre, coupled up for quite a few kills with the hook shot into Haunt and killing off heroes in the Cogs. So they also banned out the AA, which they banned out in the first game as well for obvious reasons. Does work well with this global strat, with the ability to provide the support from the Ice Blast. So they will ban out a couple of the heroes that would work well, but still leaves the pool pretty wide open for hehe here. So we'll see what direction Moscow 5 takes this one in with their next pick.
It's pretty difficult to think about supports that Moscow 5 really want to be running with just because of the raw damage that comes out from hehe. If they ever get ahead, Vengeful Spirit and pretty much most of your standard supports are just going to be 100 to 0'd by Zeus's combination before they're actually able to get their kit off. I might like seeing them going for just a super aggressive combination of supports if the Night Stalker isn't going to be run as it. But we'll just have to see how they decide to play this game.
Yeah, Tusk would definitely work well with their lineup, but he was banned out in the first phase. Is one of Screen's most played heroes, so yeah, he is a little bit more tanky. Jakiro, also one of the more tanky support hero in the games, was banned out by Moscow 5 themselves. Isn't the most aggressive hero either, but they will end up picking up the Lycan here. Necroman is a pretty damn good Lycan, and fittingly so. He usually builds Necro books on that hero, so it will offer them a little bit of push. The mana burn is quite nice against most of the lineup of Hehe, and also just the damage from taking down one of those Necro books will be very good versus the Skywrath and the Zeus. So Lycan also pretty survivable if he doesn't get cogged up with that 650 MS from the Shapeshift. So will be interesting to see how they lane this. It looks like at this point we'll probably see a Brewmaster in the off lane, unless, as you mentioned earlier, we see a roaming Night Stalker. So still a little bit of variability left for Moscow 5, and we'll see what Hehe picks up here.
Ooh, they're going to go for an Axe. I was going to suggest Timbersaw as a pickup, but Axe is going to function in a similar manner, I suppose. Just an aggressive hero with a lot of damage, and he's going to be pretty good at combating Lycanthrope and his creep army. I think the Timbersaw would have been maybe a little bit better with 3 strength heroes and not a whole lot of CC to worry about. But still, it's going to function nicely with Hehe.
Yeah, the Berserker's Call is very nice against Lycan when he's shape-shifted. They should be able to, with the rest of the lineup, burst him down, with the Mystic Flare and the Zeus's Toolkit in a Berserker's Call. So that's very nice. He will take quite a bit of damage from the units, but I should get quite a few counter helixes off and be able to clear them up pretty quickly if he grabs up a big wave within the call. So I do like the Axe pickup here. He also has decent laning presence. I mean, Battle Hunger was nerfed a bit, so not as strong as it once was, but it looks like Moscow 5 gonna round out their lineup with a Pugna. What are your thoughts on what role the Night Stalker and Pugna are gonna play?
I really think that they should play this Venge and Night Stalker as aggressively as possible and throw the Pugna in more of a farming role.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe, we see Jungle Lycanthrope if they really want to greed it up, trying to get as much as they can outside of this map. I think it depends on what the last support pickup is for Hehe.
Yeah, Netherward, very, very good versus Skywrath Mage. His most of his abilities are very high in mana cost, so that's a good use versus him. Also good versus the Zeus, but they will pick up the Treant here. Very interesting 5th pick from Hehe, so they'll round it out with the Living Armor, and that'll be able to do a lot of work, as there really are no dots to speak of aside from the life drain for the side of Moscow 5.
Living Armor is going to be really useful for the heroes, but then again for the towers, whenever Moscow 5 commit with Lycanthrope and Pugna, they should be able to take them down. So in that sense, I'm not entirely on board with this Treant Protector pick, unless they really make use of the Living Armor to make Axe a juggernaut.
Yeah, absolutely so. So yeah, as you mentioned, definitely good against the hero, but if they do commit to some structures, they do have quite a few ways to bring those down. They can also bring down Roche fairly quickly, definitely something to note with the Pugna, as well as the Necro units that'll eventually come out for the Lycan, and of course the Wave of Terror from the Venge. So it will be interesting to see how they're able to use this Brewmaster to perhaps create some space for the rest of their lineup, which is, I mean, on paper, pretty darn greedy. So will be interesting to see how they make that work. Either way, we're going to hop into the game, and as is protocol in CIS, we will have the instant pause into the game, but no salt quite yet from either side.
Yeah, to introduce the Radiant inside the map, it's going to be Moscow 5 International. Currently down 1 game inside the series. Screen going to be playing on the Night Stalker, so it looks like it is going to be roaming support and ass. PGG going to be playing on the Venge, Slander on the Brewmaster, Necroman on the Lycanthrope, and last but not least, Zedexy on the Pugna.
Yeah, Necroman pretty darn good on this Lycan. I've seen him make quite a few plays, so it'll be interesting to see how he's able to utilize that hero to his advantage. Nihiz for Hehe gonna pick up the Clockwork once again, rotating towards that off lane. He's gonna be accompanied by HWA on the Axe. Illusionist picking up the Treant Protector top once again on the Skywrath Mage, and Sky is gonna pick up the Zeus for Hehe. So back to the Thunder God they go. Different player picking it up for this one, as Hua had it last game, but should work out fairly well for them once again. We will see 5-man movement, or 4-man movements, excuse me, from both teams towards the off lane. So it looks like perhaps they will just look to plant some aggressive vision. Top is actually the one with the ward here for the Dire side, so yet they haven't found any vision. But it looks like there was a nice deep ward planted for some info for the offlaner for Moscow 5 here.
Yeah, it's a really interesting ward spot coming out from them. It's going to give them good vision of the support rotations, but outside of that, doesn't accomplish much else.
Yeah, definitely. So it will be interesting to see this mid matchup here. It looks like we will have... Necroman has a shared Tango, so he may go towards this mid lane. ZXC has picked up the Pugna, though, so it could be him as well. Will be up against the Zeus. I don't really favor either of those heroes. I mean, the Lycan will have a little bit of a worse time, but once he gets up a bottle, he'll be able to spam out his wolves for rune control and last hitting, so I don't think the Zeus will have too much kill potential on him if that's what they opt for. And it looks like it will be an aggressive try centered around the Pugna for Moscow 5.
Both teams going to be opening up with that aggressive tri-lane, Skyrath Mage and the Treant Protector down towards bottom. I might have liked to see them throw the tree up towards top and just have him on pulling operations, because for the most part he's going to be offering that living armor to the axe, but at least at these early levels, the raw damage that he has, as well as just boots first and leech seed, it's going to be pretty ridiculous. Yeah,
Illusion is going to stand in the magic bush. He's just going to block up this small camp here, but it will be a solo Brewmaster in the safe lane, so there won't be any pulling going on, presumably either way. They will posture up pretty aggressively behind the Brewmaster. He thinks perhaps it is a 1v1 matchup with the axe, but supports are not present in the safe lane, so playing pretty defensively right now. He picked up the Drunken Brawler at level 1, so we'll have that bit of evasion to keep him a little bit more survivable, but he still will be pretty susceptible to this leech seed slow, and a lot of right click from the 85 base damage of Illusionist. He's going to put one big right click into top, but he will be able to back off through the tree line, and Rocket Flare jumps out, and that's going to let them know that he doesn't have cogs. His in the top lane, he's going to get voided up. Nether Blast is there, he's going to cog in screen and PGG. They're going to chase him down. Void is available in 2 seconds. He's going to try and fog him. He will not get off the right click though, and the Nether Blast will whiff as well. Screen taking a lot of punishment. PGG now dropping really low to the tower. They will find the first blood, but the gold will go back the way of the Dire as the Vengeful does fall there. Either way, first blood gold has been accrued there, and it was the Night Stalker screen to pick up that. So Illusionist postured up pretty aggressively behind the mid laner, but it looks like they'll think better of it for the time being and look to secure the 2-minute rune. A high ground ward is here for the Radiant, so they do have some good information as to where the supports are, but they aren't coming from the safe lane in this matchup. So
yeah, it's a pretty important kill for Moscow 5, and let's see what these rune spawns are going to be. The illusion for screen is going to be spawned and taken by him. Skyrath Mage secures a bounty rune, so nothing too immediately impactful. The vision from illusions is going to be nice for Moscow 5 International, but if that was a haste or a double damage rune, instant killing potential onto Sky.
Yeah, definitely. So Axe is going to find a little bit of an aggressive posture in the bot lane, and he's going to catch a Thunderclap from Slander here. So pretty good 1v1 matchup. He's actually going to get a call off on Slander. Gets 2 Helixes off. He will drop him fairly low. But Slander going to be able to salve up and stay in lane, I should say. 14 last hits already to the Axe. Battle Hunger not going to cancel that salve. So Slander will be just fine for the time being. TP's in top lane. Concussive Shot hits onto ZXC. Leech Seed is there as well. PGG is here, available with a Magic Missile, though, if needed. Nihi's going to run forward, looking for a cog. Not going to find it. He doesn't have Battery Assault anyway, so not sure that he had the solo kill potential on the Venge there. They are going to look to re-engage here with screen. Howl has been popped, but they will stop cast that Void and think better of it for the time being. It looks like they will bring back the supports to make a defensive try for Hehe and leave the Axe with the small advantage he's accrued in the 1v1 up against Slander's Brew.
Yeah, level 5 Axe versus a level 3 Brewmaster should have a pretty decent time, although he maybe got a little over-aggressive earlier on. Salve and the Tranquil Boots as well for HWA are going to keep him in this lane pretty much indefinitely as he saves up for his Blink Dagger. Lycan farming up a couple of creeps over in the mid lane, but up towards top where you have most of the killing potential. Treant Protector has found himself a little nook that he has completely fogged out PGG. Nobody's actually spotted each other, but now with the Concussive Shot onto PGG, a couple of Arcane Bolts, they're taking a decent amount of damage, but not enough. In fact, it's going to be the Brewmaster down towards bottom that's dropping lower. That actually doesn't matter. Action all across the map. Illusion is going to eat the Void inside the Decrepify as well as a Pocket Blast, and right-click damage after the fact is going to be enough. His chasing around, but can't find any targets to go onto without any points in Battery Assault.
Yeah, very nice Delta split there from Moscow 5, splitting the Venge and the Night Stalker, not getting cogged up there. Decrep, Magic Missile, and the Nether Blast. It's going to go out there onto the Clockwork. They'll be able to right-click him down. Arcane Bolt dropping top very low as well. He is not able to bring down PGG's Venge. He'll drop despite having the living armor, and the Night Stalker does go down, but meanwhile, Hua gonna pick off a solo kill onto the Brewmaster. Very nice win for him. He's got his level 6 now, and Slander's gonna have a very tough time laning against him.
top lane, playing things very fast and loose for Moscow 5-int. Between them, they had like 200 HP through that entire engagement. All things considered, I think they come out ahead, but only just. The bigger thing is the Axe getting that solo kill, as he's already very well on his way towards that Blink Dagger, as he's just been cutting creeps, and there's nothing that the Brewmaster alone can do about this.
Yeah, definitely. So he'll find a little bit of farm underneath the tower, which is not bad for him, and get close to his level 5, but very far behind the Axe. They will rotate in PGG bot lane on that Vengeful Spirit, but they still don't have much kill potential with only the 2 and no Primal Split ready quite yet. But some pulling going on here from hehe, so it looks like Screen will find a little bit of farm in the top lane for the time being, but they will rotate over ZXC's Pugna as well. Battle Hunger goes out onto Slander. He's going to catch a Thunderclap in the face from Hua. TPs are in here as well from Necroman in the mid. He'll shapeshift instantly. There's the Berserker's Call. Not going to matter much. Slander will be able to back off just fine here before the Decapitate, but he'll get it off on Necroman. Dunk is there. Thunder God's Wrath going to follow. Not going to find Slander though, as he was able to bottle up, but Hua taking one with him before going down.
It's a very delicate game when you're looking for a kill onto an Axe. If you are attacking with too many units, if he just gets a couple lucky spins, he can kill people very quickly when it looks like he's completely hosed. The Axe now almost at Blink Dagger Gold, and the Lycanthrope giving up his life is not good at all for Moscow 5-int. And then they, in the meantime, lose the Night Stalker.
Yeah, Screen was picked off top with the help of that Thunder God's Wrath as well. So that, very nice kill for Sky, but he's going to get decrept up mid. Nether Blast will be there as well. Magic Missile going to catch him. They're going to have to bring down these living armor stacks. They are able to do so. A couple more right clicks. Actually, the Nether Blast going to be there to finish him off. So that's a nice kill on the Zeus, who was farming fairly well mid. 31 CS for him. In terms of the net worth, he was 3rd overall and level 7. So nice kill there for ZXC and PGG.
Yeah, the Stream Protector at this point, only level 3 with 3 points up, or 2 points up in the living armor, just can't really accomplish much on his own, and it really feels like that aggressive tri-lane from hehe, or at least starting it out that way, has hurt more than it's helped them, especially their supports.
Yeah, phase picked up here for Screen. They don't really have much kill potential. No one in lane visible at the top. They need to make use of this Knight fairly soon. Rocket is going to scout out Slander bottom. They're going to try to secure this T1 tower. He's leaving it there for TPs to come in from Screen. Slander going to look to take down Hua here. Void will be in range. Oh, he just gets fogged out around the corner, but he will be able to drop it now. Slander does have his Primal Split at the ready as well. Here's the rotations in from Illusionist. He'll drop the living armor there. Screen gonna have to back off for the time being. There's the Primal Split though. The Immolation is gonna tick down the living armor. Void goes back into Hua again, and he will drop on the Axe. In the meantime, the tower did go down to the Dire, so no deny available there, but Primal Split chasing down Illusionist. He's gonna cancel his Clarity there. There's the Cyclone as well. Slander, no blink available, no mana for a clap quite yet. He's going to bottle up. It'll still be short. Screen looking to rotate in. No, he's going to get fogged around the corner and think better of it. Sitting pretty low on his HP pool. So they will back off just with the kill on the Axe.
It's a really fortunate kill for them, but I suppose the silver lining for hehe is that the Axe was able to buy his blink before he fell there, having it at 730. A wonderful time farming, but he has died twice. Going up towards top, he is going to blink on top of ZXC. The Pugna Ward is down on the ground, but with the Zeus ultimate and a creep wave dunk onto ZXC, he's going to clean up his life. PGG now pursued out. 4 seconds on cooldown for the call, but with the extra movement speed from the first dunk, they might still be able to get him. One spin dunk, that's going to be the end of his life. Void onto his is going to drop him low, but they don't have enough follow-up, and they continue to pursue Screen. Without a creep wave there, the damage just can't come out from HWA.
Yeah, super unfortunate there for ZXC. The creep wave rotates in and gives him 2 counter helixes as he's trying to back off, and that gives him enough to find the dunk along with the Thunder God's Wrath. So 7-7 is your score, 8.5 minutes in. Hua is the leader in terms of net worth. 5k net worth. He's about 1,300 above the Pugna at this point. 1,200 gold in addition to that blink, and he's looking really scary this early on, when an Axe tends to do after having the kind of laning stage he did.
Definitely. HWA going to continue this aggression. Blink away is going to keep him safe, even though he was tagged by the Urn Charge. It just didn't take fast enough to cancel that one out. hehe, again, are primed for a very scary mid-game, running off of this Axe and Zeus. A nice mix of both physical and magical damage if they're actually able to connect with everything. Slander, his first couple uses of splits have been nice, but really haven't been impactful enough, and he desperately needs a Blink Dagger of his own.
Yeah, they will ball up top lane, and they're going to use exactly that strength of their lineup that you mentioned in the draft, and it is their ability to push towers here. Glyph is not available for hehe, so they can bring this down fairly uncontested. Hawa is going to look to find a jump call, though, on them. Hookshot, not quite. Oh, it is at the ready here from his jump in call onto Hookshot onto Slander as well. He's been ancient sealed up, but he should be able to get this split off. He's not actually going to need it. Clap is going to finish off the axe. Screen dropping low with the rocket flare, but top getting even lower. Thunder God's Wrath is there with an arcane bolt. They'll finish off the Night Stalker, but not before losing their Skywrath Mage. Illusionist next to fall during the fade time. Arc Lightning is going to finish one off, though. That'll be PGG. And the rest of Moscow 5 going to turn tail and run. They get a tier 1 and a 3 for 2. So still a small win there for Moscow 5.int. And they'll bring down the axe and the 2 supports, losing their 2 supports. So definitely a nice trade overall for them. 700 experience swing, 800 gold swing in their favor. Mid lane, however, Necroman dropping low with the Ancient Seal here. And the Arcane Bolt. Screen's going to rotate through, though, with the Void and the Fear. Crippling Fear, that is. And they'll bring him down. Clap onto 2 from Slander. He's still got his Primal Split if need be. He'll use it here. Living Armor, they're going to turn tail and run. But there's the Void into Illusionist. They'll bring him down with the Boulder Toss as well. Cyclone up onto the axe. They're grouping up for a call here, but it's on cooldown. There's the magic missile there. The call is available now, but they'll Void and Nether Blast and bring him down. TP needs to be canceled here, and it does from his, but they'll be able to bring down this tier 1, it seems, off the back of that engagement. Very nice 3-0 in the mid lane, going the way of Moscow 5.
Yeah, after 2 really ill-advised fights and now a swap on the Sky, they should be able to clean up this Zeus to top it all off. He kills off PGG beforehand, but that's a trade that PGG is more than happy to take, although he would have liked to survive. Tier 1 tower also going the way of Moscow 5 International after that, and they've swung themselves back into a really comfortable position inside this game, and can continue this push with the Pugna and the Lycanthrope.
Yeah, and after that engagement, the Brewmaster recovering very nicely. 4k net worth. He's got 2,200 gold, 50 away from that ever so coveted Blink Dagger. 11 minutes in, considering the terrible laning stage he has, is not bad at all. And he will pick it up here with that last siege creep, so he will be able to grab it from the side chop or from the base as the courier returns here.
Smoke, blink call onto the Lycanthrope inside the jungle with the ultimate from the Zeus as well as the Scarlet Mage. They'll burst him down and dunk him to bits as HWA finds a really easy pickoff with some help of his supports.
Yeah, definitely something we touched upon earlier is the potency of that combo with the Call Mystic Flare into the Thunder God's Wrath. And they're able to decapitate one of the highest priority targets, if not the highest priority target in Necroman. He has picked up the Staff of Wizardry on the way to his Necro books, and we will see another 3-man immediate smoke from hehe. Very smart play from them. They're gonna probably assume that Moscow 5 thinks they backed off, but here's the flare from the low ground. The hook is available as well, but Hawa in front of the Clockwork at the moment. He's gonna jump forward, call onto ZXC, swap back is nicely placed from PGG. Overgrowth on 2, however. There's the lightning bolt into ZXC. He's gonna try and run away in the trees. Rocket Flare is gonna scout him out for the time being, but they won't be able to get down onto him. Call onto 3, however, from Hawa. Lightning bolt is there. They'll decapitate 1. Axe is next to fall, though. Necroman chops down the Clockwork as well. Crippling Fear out onto Sky, but they're going to have to turn tail and run, getting very low as Hawa instant buyback. They don't want to make it worth it for this axe. And the blink will be up in 8 seconds. He's chasing down screen here. Will he be able to pick off the Night Stalker? He's trying to TP away in the trees. Nicely placed call. And that will at least make the buyback somewhat worth it, picking off Screen's Night Stalker there. And
HWA hasn't had the end of it. He's gonna look for Necroman inside the jungle. This time he doesn't have any backup. Zeus ultimate coming up to cooldown, however, in 1 second. Let's see how many spins HWA gets with the Living Armor support. The Pugna goes through the woods and will decrypify up the axe. So for now, that's going to be all she wrote. No HWA in a whole heap of trouble with the Brewmaster and coming in from the north. Blink Flap, as well as a handful of crits. They stun him up, but that's a dieback from HWA. Swap from ZXE is going to do a little bit more hurt than help, but now they find themselves atop. They do have a Drunken Haze to continue this pursuit on the Scarlet Mage, looking for a little bit of body block from the Wolves. They will be able to get the Magic Missile and another kill for the team.
Yeah, a little bit of over-aggression from the Axe there. A little bit of hubris from him, considering the start he's had. Still doing fairly well overall, but 6-6-2. You don't want that many deaths on an Axe that had the kind of start that he did. He now looking to build into an Aghanims, perhaps, with the Staff of Wizardry, probably purchased before dying there. Ogre Club in tow, I should say, as well. So, not too far off that Aghanims. Not sure if that's the pickup he really needs at this point. I feel like a Blade Mail would have been a lot better versus the Pugna.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair. This Pugna Ward has been doing a lot of work for Moscow 5 International, in particular against the Zeus and the Scarth Mage. There's just not a clean way for them to kill it off. Last fight, or last major fight, Dream Protector was trying to punch it down, but just wasn't able to do so. They pretty much need to commit a hero to bringing it out, or else the Scarth Mage and Zeus are more or less completely deleted inside the fights. If they cast any spells, they die, and if they don't cast any spells, the enemy team is going to be pretty much free to run around and do what they want.
Yeah, definitely a nice pickup in the Nether Ward there. Jump forward from Slander. He's going to get a clap. He won't get the Primal Split off, but the Nether Ward will finish off the Skywrath Mage. And they're already backing up the lineup of Hehe. They're going to look to take down this tower. Glyph nicely placed to stop the Nether Blast there, but Illusionist does have an overgrowth, is invisible. There's no detection thus far on the ground from M5, but he's not going to get too overly aggressive, and they will take the tier 1 uncontested here. Probably look to back off. Necro 1's completed for Necroman, but pretty underwhelming spell at this point. And the Wolves actually scouting into the tree here for Necroman, so they know no one's postured up in the trees there. They will drop the Nether Ward down as well, so it looks like they're continuing to mount this push here. Slander does still have the Blink Clap split at a full mana pool. Netherblast going to put a little bit of harass. Illusionist is postured up in between Screen, Necroman, and Slander. He can find a very nice overgrowth here. Jump forward. Cole is not only going to land on PGG. Overgrowth, though, lands on 5. Very nicely placed. Magic Missile into Nahiz, though. Netherblast will finish him off. Swap back onto Hua as well. He's trying to back up. Living Armor is there. He'll get a call off, but on the sidelines, they'll pick off Sky's Zeus, and he won't be able to bring down Screen. Mystic Flare is going to be split between two. Ha will fall here. Cyclone up onto top as well. He should be the next to go down, and Hehe looking terrible in this mid-game in stark contrast to the last one. Very well played from Moscow 5. They're going to look to recover in this game 2 here. They'll bring down the tier 2 and ping out Roshan, so perhaps that is their next target of choice here with 4 down from Hehe.
Hehe just have no way to deal with this Nether Ward. They can't take fights inside of it, as we've seen. The damage from it's immense. It forces the Skyrath Mage to position himself really awkwardly around that AoE. And honestly, if ZXG, if his hero was just the Nether Ward, the pick probably would have been just as warranted. And then the extra pushing power from Nether Blast is just icing on the cake. Hookshot up towards the north is going to connect onto a Wolf, and that's about all she wrote.
Yeah, I was going to harp on how this Clockwork pick really hasn't worked out to as much as it has in the early game, but as he takes a clap to the face, and his dropping really low. Nether Ward, once again, the last thing to finish him off, fittingly so. Ancient Seal goes out onto Slander. Illusionist is going to grab up an Overgrowth. Slander going to take a lot of damage from this Mystic Flare, but he'll get mech'd up here. Hua going to catch the Crippling Fear in the face. Illusionist going to be picked off in the tree line by Screen. Hua goes down as well. PGG getting a little bit low, but he does have the Skywrath in tow, and once again, early GG call. Moscow 5 snowballing out of control, and Hehe know their limits here. Game 2 is going to have the series tied up. We'll go to a deciding game 3 here, folks.
Yeah, again, I like Hehe's draft, but that Pugna pick worked wonders for Moscow 5 International. And it seems that whoever has the better momentum coming into this mid-game team fights is just going to be able to snowball these into victories. So let's see who gets the better half of that in game number 3.
Yeah, well played by them, certainly, and the trump card was that 5th pick, Pugna. So we will be back shortly, guys. hehe.TV with game 3. Moscow 5 taking game 2 in 17 minutes after a 34-minute game 1 win by Hehe.